Hey everybody, it's Frank here, the Mad Dad, and today is day 11 of my self-isolation. Time's counting down, it's Tuesday. Thursday I am done, which once again I'm looking forward to. And you know, it's actually a pretty nice day outside right now here in British Columbia, Canada, in the Great White North. It's not really white, it's kind of green, but you know what I mean. So, well, what do I want to talk about today? I read a really interesting article last night, and it has to do with, you know, obviously the topic of the day, which is coronavirus, COVID-19. And this article said that cell phone usage, or the number of cell phones in China, have dropped since the beginning of the year by 21 million. I'll see if I can find the source of that story, and then I'll link it in the description below. But 21 million, and so they are saying, and once again, just speculation, that upwards of 1.5 to 2 million people could have died because of the coronavirus in China, and they aren't. Obviously, the state is not releasing that. So how do they know this? Well, I guess they required that cell phones be mandatory for every Chinese citizen. So every Chinese citizen in China, that makes sense, has to have a cell phone. Might be a good point to invest in Chinese cell phone companies, because I'm sure they're selling a lot of cell phones there. Anyways, everybody has a cell phone, and then what they do is every single person has a health app that they had to download, and that application or that app basically is either green, yellow, or red. And if it's red, that means that you are sick, that you shouldn't be out. If it's yellow, it means, I think, that you may have tested positive, but you can still go out. I'm not really sure about the yellow and the red, but if you're green, it means you're okay. And what an interesting way of doing it. I mean, the society, Chinese society, like I said, they definitely control everything in that country. But you know, by having this database of people, like I said, red, yellow, green, and then when a person gets stopped in the street, they have to actually show their cell phone and see what the color of that app is, to see whether they're allowed to go out or not. And it's a pretty extreme measure. Would never work in North America, but at the same time, interesting way of controlling things. I mean, could we have that level of control in, say, North America or Europe? I think it's actually not a bad idea. I don't think it would fly here. In fact, it wouldn't. I can't see it flying, but it's interesting to think about. Other news is that they basically, in Sweden, I believe, they aren't really practicing anything there. So I guess they're going to go for the herd mentality. Let's, you know, just let people get infected and let it spread through the population, and then that will create immunity, etc. So another little interesting experiment happening over there. We'll have to see how that turns out. You know, oh, by the way, it's March 31st. I don't know if I mentioned that. So March 31st, 2020. So yeah, those were a couple of interesting bits of news that I read, kind of last night, this morning. Yeah, the whole thing about potentially 21 million cell phone users have disappeared in China, meaning that the number of deaths could be exponentially more than what they're saying. You know, they said about 3,000 deaths. Is interesting. But the other point this article said too, that, you know, maybe a lot of businesses had cell phones and stuff like that, and so obviously those people may not be using their cell phones as well if it was businesses. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Had an opportunity to watch your presidents, assuming that you're American, Donald Trump's speech yesterday. Every day he does a White House briefing. I watched bits and parts of it just to see what he's going to say next. And boy, the CNN reporter, he's, you know, they say he's got a thin skin. He really does have a thin skin. He just gets so offended so easily. And, you know, you think about the way that maybe, you know, Bush the second would have reacted, or even Obama would have reacted. You know, he was asked a question like, how do you feel, or what's your thoughts about the fact that you told everybody that everything was going to be okay and now it's turning out that way? And, you know, it's kind of a trick question. But, you know, I guess it's an opportunity for people in the country to see whether or not how their leaders are going to perform to that. I know that different people, but he just tore a strip off that reporter for asking a nasty, mean question. And that was exactly what it is. He says, you are asking nasty, mean questions. Yeah. All right. So, and move on to the next one. Yeah. President Donald Trump. You know, I guess I don't know whether this is going to work out better for him or worse for him, whether he'll be elected or reelected or not. Joe Biden, haven't heard too much from Joe Biden over the last week or so. You know, I did read somewhere else, I don't know, Tucker Carlson or something like that on Fox said that he's losing his mind. He's getting dementia. I don't know. Right-wing propaganda. But then I guess, of course, there's also left-wing propaganda. I guess we'll have to see about that. So, yeah. And so, anyways, like I said, 3 days left. 11 days down of my self-isolation. Really looking forward to going outside. Got lots of things done over the last 11 days, so I've definitely not sat on my butt. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I have sat on my butt in this very chair. I've been sitting on my butt a lot. You know, I have gotten things done, and got a new app. I'm going to take a look at the stock market and see what's happening there. I like numbers. I like statistics. I'm going to see what's happening. Maybe I can do something in the stock market. I've always thought the stock market is fairly risky. But, you know, there's a lot of stocks right now that are trading, I think, really low because of all this stuff, and they're going to come back. You know, you look at, say, Apple or Delta Airlines or Carnival Cruises. That's another story, Carnival Cruises. We'll have to see what the cruise industry does. They may or may not come back. We'll have to look at that one. But anyways, so I'm going to be looking at that. I'll tell you a little bit about what I learn over the next upcoming days. So anyways, we're going to leave it at there. As usual, if you have any comments about anything I've said, please leave them below, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. Right now I'm kind of creating daily videos. I might go to weekly, but you know, I think I'm going to continue doing this. Even though nobody watches them, I'm going to continue doing this. It's entertaining for me. Fills up a bit of my time. So, but anyways, leave your comments below, subscribe. That way you'll find out when I post a new rant or rave. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Stay safe, man. Stay safe. Don't screw around. And we'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye.